Hi friends, Japan factor in India-China conflict. What do I highlight in the first place here is the logistic treaty signed between India and China just a couple of days before. Logistic treaty, of course, is not a military pact which provides both the party to fight for each other in the battlefield. However, logistic treaty facilitates both of them to make use of each other's military facilities. India has not signed military facilities only with Japan. Earlier, India had already signed logistic treaty with South Korea, Australia, Singapore, France, and USA. Japan is also the member of Quad, where Australia, USA, India are also there. So, all these parties signed logistic treaty or the members of Quad. This kind of things brought all of them together to counter any threat in Indo-Pacific zone. The relationship of today between India and Japan is rooted into its history. The exchange in terms of relationship between India and Japan is said to have begun during 6th century when for the first time Buddhism was introduced. Indian culture filtered into Buddhism had great impact on Japanese people and brought Japanese people very close to the Indian culture. But the modern relationship began in 1949 when Pandit Nehru, the Prime Minister of India, had donated an elephant to a Jew in Tokyo, a good gesture. In 1952, India-Japan signed peace treaty, perhaps the first such kind of peace treaty signed with Japan after Second World War. So, in this background, we understand India-Japan relationship. All these things have brought a ray of light into the lives of Japanese people who were shattered very badly during Second World War and they lost the war. And moreover, they also had very humiliating experience due to 2 atomic bombings which took away the lives of people, around 10 million people who lost their life. Moreover, the relationship was not struck there itself. It proceeded further with all hopes. Indira Gandhi, the Prime Minister of India, also had visited Japan in 1982. And she boosted the morale of Japan. She helped Japanese people to come out of low profiles, which was shattered during the Second World War for whatever situation was there. This is about Japan after the Second World War. Now, if you look at Japanese face before Second World War, it was extremely different. It's almost similar to today's Chinese face of expansionism and militarism, which started at the end of 19th century. In 1895, Japan attacked China and won it. That's known as First Japan-China War. In 1904, Japan attacked Russia and won it. From 1912 to 1926, this was the time when Japan increased expansionism and militarism. During its First World War, Japan joined allies together with Britain, France, and USA. In 1931, I am telling you in brief, 1931, Japan attacked Manchuria, invaded Manchuria, the part of China. In 1937, Japan started Second Japan-China War, attacked mainland of China and won many parts of China. In 1940, Japan joined Second World War. From Axis, Axis means along with Germany, Hitler, Italy, and then the third force is Japan, of course. 1941, Japan dared to attack America on Pearl Harbor. And the end of it, the atomic bomb in 1945 dropped in Nagasaki and Hiroshima. And side by side, Russia had invaded Manchuria from Japan. All these situations at the final stage forced Japan to surrender unconditionally after the Second World War and accepted its defeat. However, the UNO had conducted a military trial, what is known as Tokyo Trial, to punish Japan as a war criminal. In 1952, San Francisco Treaty was signed. It was signed by 49 countries, the member states of the UNO. This treaty has finally disarmed, demilitarized Japanese. Japan is no longer an offensive military force, but a self-defensive force only. However, Japan's security responsibility was taken by USA, for which USA has deployed around 50,000 military forces all the time, 24 hours. They are available in Tokyo, the territory of Japan, for which Japan is contributing some amount as an expenses of American forces being staying over there. And this San Francisco Treaty also have facilitated the world to get a full control over Japan, so that Japan again should not raise the ugly face before the world. However, despite the fact that Japan is mere a self-defensive force, it means that Japan cannot attack others. But if someone else attacks Japan, Japan still has the right to counter it, for this purpose, Japan today has 2.5 lakhs military forces, plus around 60,000 reserve forces, for which the annual budget, defense budget, is $50 billion. And all these things, we can conclude that Japan has no military right, but Japan has the military force. Has no military right to attack others, but has the military system of military to defend itself. Japan also has National Defense Academy to ensure a capable military forces. Coming back from all these points, once again, positive face of Japan. In 1990, Japan was considered as one of the most developed economy in the world. number 2 rank worldwide after USA. Continued consistently till 2010 when China had superseded Japan, yet it is third or fourth rank in the world. Japan is number 1 in automobiles and electronics. Japan has 6 trillion GDP. Bilateral trade with China total $300 billion, out of which Japan is exporting the goods of $160 billion and importing the goods of $190 billion. India, total bilateral trade is 18 billion. India exporting $6 billion goods and importing $12 billion. All these developments Japan had achieved. It is called as miracle, economic miracle of Japan by virtue of their labors and consistent commitments. All these developments are made despite constraints in resources. Constraint in resources means Japan has only 4 lakhs square kilometer territory. And the population is 13 lakhs. And out of 4 lakhs square kilometer territory, 70% is either forested or mountainous. Coastal line only available for people to stay. Otherwise, they cannot stay in jungles and mountainous areas. The total islands, you can imagine, 8,000 islands Japan has. Some of the islands are disputed with China. Time to time, consistently, some kind of disputes are seen between China and Japan on some of the islands. As regards maritime borders are concerned, its borders is with China, Russia, North Korea, Taiwan, and Philippines. Apart from these countries, 2 seas are also there. First is East China Sea, second is Sea of Okhotsk. At the end, I find if relation between Japan and China is stable, it is because of trade and economic relationship. If the relation is collapsed, it is because of historical rivalry. So, relation between China and Japan is based on contentment and coexistence. Now regarding India, India's relation is absolutely historical rooted, based on interest of strategy for both the countries and trade. All these are, both the countries are friendly and cooperative to each other. This is the end of my video. Thank you very much.